in Philadelphia. As you look at downtown Philly, temperature 51 degrees. A few miles south, down Broad Street to Veterans Stadium. The end of an era. The 32nd season for the Eagles here. Their last. It's the last Monday night game at the Vet. They'll move across the parking lot to their new digs next year. And out onto the field come the Eagles to meet their arch nemesis, the New York Giants, on Monday Night Football. Al Michaels, John Madden, Melissa Stark, welcome to Philadelphia. Well, the Eagles have looked great at times this season. Come off a big win last week against Tampa Bay, lead the NFC East with a record of 4-2. But what do you make of a team that loses to Tennessee and Jacksonville? Still 4-2 on top in their division. And facing the Giants, huge game for the Giants tonight. They're 2 games back if they lose. They're tied with Philly if they win. They come in with a mark of 3-3. They have been unbelievably inconsistent. And John, what do you make of a team that is scoring only 14.3 points per game, third worst in the league at this point?
I think what you just said, Al, is inconsistent and generally inconsistent offensively. More specific, once they get inside the 20, it seems that bad things happen to them. And I don't know if they're a good team that is playing inconsistent, or maybe they're just an inconsistent team. But I think they're going to find out a lot about themselves tonight offensively. But it all starts with the offensive line, because they have to protect Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins is going to have to make plays. But I'll tell you, the Philadelphia Eagles always are going to give them a heavy dose of blitzing.
No question. Jim Johnson, their defensive coordinator, loves to do that. As far as the Eagles are concerned, when the season began, most people thought the Rams were the best in the NFC. They're not right now. So who's the best? Can it be a team that through 6 games has lost to Jacksonville and Tennessee? Can it be the Eagles?
Yeah, I think. You don't get any prizes for being in first place at Halloween, but I think that you can be in the top, and I think that's where the Eagles are. If you have a group in the top, a group in the middle, a group at the bottom, the Philadelphia Eagle team is on the top, and last week Deuce Staley ran, and they ran the ball a little. I don't think that's really the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles offensively are still Donovan McNabb, and defensively they're still a aggressive blitzing team.
McNabb always a treat to watch, as is Michael Strahan, who'll be matched up tonight with tackle John Runyon in the game within the game on Monday Night Football. Only on Monday Night Football last week in Pittsburgh. That's the way Jerome Bettis and his pals warmed up before a big win against Indianapolis. Who'll be the star tonight? Might it be Michael Strahan? Might it be Donovan McNabb? Big NFC East rivalry. Giants, Eagles on Monday Night Football. Kickoff stadium in Philadelphia sold out. 32nd and final season here for the Eagles. The Giants come into this place for the last time, barring a playoff appearance. And let's go down to the field. Melissa Stark with Coach Jim Fossil of the Giants. Melissa?
Well, Al, the Giants certainly struggling on offense. Only 3 teams are averaging fewer points per game. Jim, what did you do during the bye week to try to correct that?
Well, Melissa, we had to work on our run game. We needed to get our run game going. That'll help us in the red area. And then don't allow for penalties down there. That backs us out of the field goal range and takes away from touchdowns.
You did something on Saturday that you've never done. You and your entire coaching staff left in the middle of practice. What was the reason, and how did the team respond?
Well, I told them that we were practicing like we expected to be mediocre. We don't do this to be mediocre. We want to win. And I did it. It wasn't a ploy. It wasn't anything else. And they finished practice the way I thought the leadership should take over. And I think we're ready to play tonight.
All right, have a great night.
Thanks.
All right, Al. Well, Monday night has not been kind to the Giants, especially when they play the Eagles. They've won once in 6 tries. That was 30 years ago.
30 years ago, and this place opened up in 1971. Last Monday night game at the Vet. Andy Reid, in his 4th season now as the Eagles head coach, took his team last year to the NFC Championship game where they were beaten by the Rams. Can he make one further step this year? Fireworks going off. Temperature 51 degrees, and Matt Bryant, in his first year with the Giants, he was a pawnbroker for the past couple of years in Texas, sends it in the direction of Brian Mitchell from the 3, and the venerable one brings it back out to the 26-yard line. That's where the Eagles will set up shop with this offensive unit.
Donovan McNabb, Syracuse University. Deuce Staley, South Carolina.
Cecil Martin, Wisconsin.
Todd Pinkston, the University of Southern Mississippi.
James Thrash, Missouri Southern.
Chad Lewis, BYU.
Trey Thomas, Florida State.
John Wellborn, University of California.
Hank Fraley, Robert Morris.
Jermaine Mayberry, Texas A&M Kingsville.
John Runyon, Michigan.
And the guy who'll be looking through Runyon's face mask all night, Michael Strahan. McNabb going to the air on first down, going deep on first down, and incomplete. Good coverage that time on James Thrash. And Will Allen with the coverage is also a marker down.
You know, and Michael Strahan almost got Donovan McNabb on that play. Just as McNabb was getting rid of the ball, Strahan hit him.
Bill Carollo is the referee.
There is no play. Prior to the snap, ball starts. Number 83, offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That was Jeff Thomason who was moving, so it's first down and 15.
Strahan here, we see John Runyon coming out to block him. Strahan has great leverage. You see what he does? He gets underneath his shoulder pads. You see him underneath there, and then he gives that move and lifts him right up as he goes by him. That's not the way John Runyon wanted to start. That's not the way that Donovan McNabb wanted to start. That's not the way Jeff Thomason wanted to start, nor Andy Reid wanted them to start.
Strahan, 22.5 sacks, an NFL record last year. Him with that chorus all last week. Close to a first down, 14 yards. It'll be second down and 1.
Yeah, and that's what all offensive linemen want you to do. You know, Andy Reid, the first play, he calls a passing play, and Strahan gets there. The way to calm down a pass rush always has been a run right at him, make him hang in there, and play the run first.
Eagles 5th in rushing, Giants defense 3rd against the rush, and Dorsey Levens, the ex-Packer, picks up the yard to move the chains. First down Philadelphia. Here's the Giants D.
Michael Strahan, Texas Southern.
Cornelius Griffin, Alabama.
Lance LeGree, Notre Dame.
Kenny Holmes, University of Miami.
Brandon Short, Penn State.
Mike.
University of
Maryland.
Western Illinois.
Allen and Peterson, good corners. So beautifully, so efficiently, so effectively, and so dramatically to the 25-yard line of the Giants.
And as you said, that's where he's so dangerous. You say that you have to contain him, and you usually think of outside. Don't let him get outside, but you can't. But if you give him a lane to run it in, then he has the option of either throwing or running. You see that lane right there? No one kept their lane assignments, and they gave a great big hole to Donovan McNabb.
38 yards, second longest run of his career, back to the ground, and Staley can't get on track. Hit in the backfield, first by Cornelius Griffin. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, I think we have to mention right here that the Giants are playing without Keith Hamilton, who tore his Achilles tendon in their last game. They had a bye last week. It was 2 weeks ago now. And every time that I ever saw the Giant defense play, you know, the line, when they dominated, it was always Michael Strahan and Keith Hamilton doing the dominating.
Now they have Lance LeGree taking over for Hamilton. Johnny Lynn is the defensive coordinator, taking over for John Fox, who became the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Second and 11. McNair checks off, and the Eagles move on the left side. That's Trey Thomas, the Pro Bowl left tackle, moving.
Big old lineman. Once you get down there, you can only sit so long.
Prior to the snap, ball starts. Number 72, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Didn't it seem like McNabb was up there for a long time, like he was going up and coming back, and old Trey Thomas was in that stance, and he said, I know, you know, my clock is about to go off, and I have to go here.
I'm sure he was thinking to himself, you can't audible on me now. I've got to go.
I've been up here long enough. We got to start playing some football here.
Second down and 16, 3 minutes into the game. Opening drive of the game. And it is a screen that is nearly intercepted into the gut of Michael Strahan. And Strahan angry with himself, and then will put his shoe back on for what should have been, in his mind, an interception.
Well, you know what happens is, watch John Runyon. He's going to try and cut Michael Strahan here. See, that's what you try and do to get the defensive end's hands down so you can throw the screen over him. You see, he cuts him, but Michael Strahan knows that. He goes down, and then he bounces right back up. That's why he's such a great player. I mean, you know, that I would think if I were going to try and do those things, I think I'd do them away from Michael Strahan.
Definitely. 3rd down and 16. Fake to Dorsey Levens. McNabb buys time. Scrambling. Looking downfield. And then he'll just throw it away. So he throws it away, and that will set up a 50 or 51-yard field goal attempt for one of the best place kickers in the league, David Akers.
Well, it's just they've had enough of Michael Strahan, so they're going to keep their tight end, Chad Lewis, in there, and they're going to double team him, and then they're going to bootleg to that side, trying to find a lane to throw to the backside. There was no lane there. There was no one open, but they did double team Michael Strahan.
David Akers has not missed a kick. He is 12 for 12, 50-yard attempt. And the left footer will miss. Started out as if it was going to be good, and then it just hung and came up short. So he misses for the first time this season. And the Giants get the ball at their own 33. ABC's Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Madden NFL 2003 from EA Sports. It's in the game. Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. BU, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. Mitsubishi Outlander. Prepare for what's down the road. Are you in? And Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold down easy. Aerial coverage provided by Southwest Airlines. Giants have it. Their first offensive play from their 40 to the 42 is a 2-yard run by Tiki Barber. Southwest Airlines providing that shot into Veterans Stadium, home of the Phillies and the Eagles in '71. Eagles move across the parking lot next year. The Phillies play one more season here, and then they move into their new park, also across the parking lot in 2004. Ron Dane is in the backfield. They give it to the Heisman Trophy winner from Wisconsin. Picks up about 3 as we take a look at the Giant offense.
Kerry Collins, Penn State.
Tiki Barber, UVA.
Charles Stackhouse, Ole Miss.
Amani Toomer, Michigan.
Ike Hilliard, Florida. Dan Campbell, Texas A&M University.
Luke Pettigrew, Notre Dame.
Rich Soibert, Western Illinois.
Chris Bober, Nebraska, Omaha.
Dusty Ziegler, Notre Dame.
Mike Rosenthal, Notre Dame.
3rd and 5 right now. Jeremy Shockey, the Giants rookie tight end, is active, but not in the starting lineup tonight. In uniform. 3rd down and 5. And the pass is incomplete. Falling down was Tim Carter, their number 2 draft choice out of Auburn, and maybe the fastest Giant in years. Jim Fossil said the fastest he's had since he's been with the Giants.
You know, and that's what the Giants have always needed. You know, if you have to have something that doesn't let defensive coordinators sleep at night, and that's speed. And the Giants for years haven't had the guy that really scares you. And the last few years, the only guy the defensive coordinator will talk about being afraid of is Tiki Barber.
Matt Allen is the Giants punter. Brian Mitchell, more punt return yardage than anyone in NFL history. Still dancing, still showing the moves that brought him to that level. And he gets tackled up at the 18-yard line by Dhani Jones. 4:40 into the game in Philadelphia. 0-0.
Just breathe. Just believe. Another day. Just believe. I'm used to it by now. Just breathe.
Here's an idea. How about integrity?
Tell the truth. That's easy. Just give it to me straight.
All we're asking for is a little honesty.
You know what we deserve? Accountability.
These days, I need integrity.
I'm an investor.
I'm an investor.
So as an investor,
I have to be able to trust you.
At the New York Stock Exchange, we agree. So do 2,800 of the world's best companies that meet the highest standards. So every shareholder can invest with trust and confidence.
I think I deserve that.
On Halloween, nothing scarier for a dad than his daughter's date.
I think you should wear a bikini and go as hot.
8 simple rules. Then, there's something in the attic. It's waiting to strike. It's Jim? Or is it? It all starts Tuesday at 8/7 Central on ABC.
No score in Philadelphia. The Eagles are backed up after the punt at their own 17-yard line. The Eagles have had a lot of long drives this season. They've had 19 drives that have started inside their 20 and scored a touchdown on 7 of them, and that's the best rate in the NFL. So here they are from their 17 with all of their weapons, and they begin on the ground. They begin with Staley, and Staley picks up about 7 to the 24, where Dhani Jones makes the stop.
You know, in the way that Michael Strahan started, he was raising havoc with this Eagle offense. Maybe they decided, let's go to the other side. Here in the first play of the game, he puts Donovan McNabb down. Then they decide they're going to throw a screen pass over him, and he just knocks the ball down. Then they decided, if we're going to throw it, we better double team. And that's exactly what they did on that last third down play.
Second and 3. They send Staley in motion. They pitch it back to Brian Westbrook, a rookie out of Villanova, picked in the 3rd round and picks up the first down.
You know what they're doing now? They're running away from Michael Strahan. And then the other thing we're showing here, here's what they have to do, is they have to double him. If you put a tight end out there, then that widens him out. And that makes him take a wide route so that you can throw the 3-step drop. Now the 5-step drop, you keep the tight end to the outside, you keep your tackle running to the inside, and you get this type of thing. That's what they did on the last series, and I think we're going to see more and more of that tonight.
They'll never escape their attention. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line, and Deuce Staley picks up a yard. Up to the 34, 2nd down for the Eagles, who come in after that win against Tampa. And then next week, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, Andy Reid calling the plays. He has the first 15 scripted. He said he's going to have more run. Usually he'll pass 60% of the time and run 40%. That's balanced, Andy Reid. He said in this game he wants to start off with a little more run.
Eagles next week to Champaign, Illinois, to take on the Bears, as that pass is incomplete, intended for the fullback Cecil Martin, with Dhani Jones, the linebacker, draped all over him. So 3rd down and 9. Donovan McNabb just redid his contract. I mean, they throw all kinds of numbers out and all this 12-year deal, 10. Well, you know, it's a lot of money and a long time. It's as simple as that.
And I think it just proves how many franchise quarterbacks are in the NFL. And Jeffrey Lurie there, the owner of the Eagles, decided that Donovan McNabb is his franchise quarterback, and he wants him as long as he's going to play.
3rd down and 9. McNabb steps up, slings it to the outside. Looked like lost control of the ball, as Dorsey Levens was the intended receiver. 4th down.
And that's exactly what happened. That ball did get away from him. Watch Michael Strahan here, and you can see John Runyon start on him. And then Dorsey Levens is going to come over and help right there at the end. In fact, on that one, it was Mayberry came over to right guard.
Sean Landeta, who is about as old as dirt, kicking to Delvin Joyce, but still as effective as always, as the 40-year-old sends one to Joyce with a fair catch, and the Giants will get it back with 8:17 left in the opening period.
Pepsi Blue,
fusion of berries with a splash of cola. Pepsi Blue. It's a blue thing.
What am I looking for? A lot of things, really. Athletic, good-looking, a nice body with it. Stylish, for sure. And none of this taking it slow stuff.
The 250 horsepower Chrysler 300M with a race-inspired suspension and the most powerful V6 engine in its class. It has everything you're looking for.
I've always had a thing for power.
Now from Chrysler, our 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, because love is a commitment.
There's something wonderful about a hamburger. It's one of the few things that brings so much joy. Made fresh, hot off the grill, all juicy and delicious with fresh toppings so it tastes great. It lifts your spirits and makes everything okay. That's the kind of hamburger we make. Wendy's Classic Double with cheese. It's better here. And our pickup window's open till midnight or later, so you can eat great even late.
Are you ready for some football? Next week we go to Green Bay. The Packers had the bye week. Brett Favre is on the mend against the Dolphins. It is still anticipated by the Packers that Brett will play. Actually went down during the bye week to Mississippi. He's being treated at Southern Mississippi. Goes back to Green Bay tomorrow. They'll examine him, and we should see him Monday night.
And yeah, I mean, if you know Brett Favre, there's no way that he's gonna miss a game.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as Barber takes it to the outside and picks up just one. And let's take a look at the Philly defense.
Brandon Whiting, California.
Corey Simon, Florida State. Dawn Walker, Tennessee.
Hugh Douglas, Central State University.
S. Barber, University of Richmond, VA.
LeVon Kirkland, Clemson. Carlos Emmons, Arkansas State University.
Troy Vincent, Wisconsin.
Blaine Bishop, Old School. Ryan Dawkins, Clemson.
Bobby Taylor, Notre Dame.
2nd and 9. Halfway through the period, we still do not have a yard passing for either team. Still won't. As Collins throws it into the Eagle bench. 3rd down and 9. Collins has played against the Philadelphia Eagles through the years, and as you can see, John, has never had a pass intercepted in his games against Philadelphia, which includes 6 regular season and a postseason game.
I think that the Eagle defense is so aggressive, and you know that they're going to come after you. And Kerry Collins is a type of guy that isn't going to do something stupid. He'll take a sack, he'll take a loss, he'll throw the ball away rather than throw an interception. You don't get a lot of first downs that way. You don't get a lot of touchdowns that way, but you don't throw interceptions.
Still looking for the first completion of the game for either team. Still don't have one. On 3rd down, pass intended for Amani Toomer. So in this pass-crazy 2002 season, Collins starts out 0 for 3. McNabb starts out 0 for 4.
Yeah, and the early part of this, you know, is I think both of these quarterbacks are a little nervous, a little antsy, a little jumpy, and I think the defenses early are dominating. So it's part them not being in any kind of rhythm yet, and they're 2 pretty good defenses.
Each team has had the ball twice. Matt Allen to boot it. Short kick. Mitchell's going to let it bounce. And then it skids out of bounds at the 38-yard line. With 7:23 left in the opening period at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Eagles with the ball. No score.
Thanks. Come back again.
Here we go. Get the action going.
About time you got a new TV.
Don't even start with me.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Folding seats, loads of space. If you love it, Chrysler PT Cruisers got a way to hold it.
$10 is not gonna fit. It's gonna fit.
I am Emmett Smith.
I'm Emmett Smith.
I'm Emmett Smith.
I am
Emmett Smith.
I am Emmett Smith.
No, really, I am. Worried that the you shopping online isn't really you? That's why there's Verified by Visa, a security service that helps protect Visa cards from unauthorized online use with a personal password. This service is only available on select Visa cards issued by participating financial institutions.
I am Emmett Smith.
Please. To learn more and to check if your card is eligible for this service, go to visa.com/verified.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm wooden mittens. Fill the white whiskers that melt in the spring. These are a few of my favorite things. These are a few of my favorite things.
Minnesota, Ohio State, or other regional action, Saturday on ABC.
They tell me on Halloween there's nothing scarier for a dad than his daughter's boyfriend. A frightfully funny 8 simple rules, part of Scary Tales Tuesday, right here on ABC. Trailer MVP, the Philly fans, they've been great through the years.
It wouldn't be bad, except it would have to be a weight problem, though. What's a horse weigh?
1,000 pounds.
Yeah, see, that's all we can carry on the trailers. We can cheat it a little. We can go to 1,200 pounds. That's it.
McNabb throws, first completion of the game to Todd Pinkston. Donovan McNabb and Pinkston a little slow in getting up. McNabb's second overall choice in the '99 draft. That's when Cleveland started with Tim Couch. Then the Eagles, the fans wanted them to draft Ricky Williams, the running back, and they picked McNabb out of Syracuse, and Cincinnati went for Achilles Smith. And when you look at it right now, down the line, at this particular point, McNabb, the best of the three. Couch clearly second, and then Smith.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I mean, the Eagles obviously did the right thing, and then, you have to have a quarterback in this league. They're going to have one for a long time.
Got a pretty good running back in Deuce Staley, just like last week. Staley is out of bounds, forced out by Omar Stoutmeyer at the 31-yard line. Last week, 152 yards on the ground. That gained 23, and the Deuce has already picked up 44 in the period.
Watch the left guard here, John Welborn, and watch the job that he does on the green. You see, he just takes that whole side and just moves it down to the right, and then Deuce Staley comes up and cuts right off that. The other thing that helped that play was they faked the reverse. They faked the reverse to hold the backside. Welborn on the onside makes a heck of a block.
From the 31-yard line, McNabb under pressure and gets buried. The Giants on a jailbreak, and it was Mike Barrow along with Michael Strahan who came in. We'll see how they rule it in terms of who gets the sack or if they divvy it up.
It was funny that Donovan McNabb was looking to his left, and that was the pressure when it first started, and then it came from the right and then the middle. Watch him. He's going to come back here, fake the play pass, look to the left, and then he feels the pressure right up the middle and from his right. Said here's Strahan on John Runyon again. He just goes right around him, and then that along with Mike Barrow coming right up the middle.
Each of them get a half sack, and now through the middle they hand the ball off to Brian Westbrook. Westbrook, a guy Andy Reid knew well because Andy follows college football. Westbrook played at Villanova here in town. He got to see some of his games. He said, I like this kid, and drafted him.
Yeah, we talked about John Welborn on the last play. Watch center Hank Fraley and Jermaine Mayberry, the center and the right guard right here. You see that block right there? Fraley, the center, stays with hit guy, the old body on body, hat on hat type of deal. And Westbrook runs right by them both.
3rd down and 5 now from the New York 26. Toss it back to Levens. And the longtime Packer with his shoulder may have picked up the first, but they're going to spot it just a little bit shy as Kenny Holmes stops him there, just shy of the marker at the 21-yard line.
For years they never pulled the center. You always pulled your guards. Once in a while you'd pull a tackle. That time old Hank Fraley was out there pulling. They pulled both Welborn, the left guard, and the center, to lead out there. Watch this. This has to be a sight as you see these guys pull out to this side. Watch the snap, and then you see the pull. See, watch old Jiggles coming there. Jiggle, 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 and he gets here just a little late.
Well, he did. Actually, they spotted it close to the 20. They gave him a great spot, and he picks up a first down. Just outside the 20-yard line, and that pass is caught on the far sideline by James Thrash, who picked up about 8 to the 13-yard line. So Levens got a great spot to move the chains.
And Andy Reid just called a play where McNabb could move. You look in there, on his first 15 plays, he had 9 runs and got 107 yards out of it. He had 6 passes, and he said he was going to do that. He said in his first 15 it was heavy run to see what was going on there, and he looks like there's something pretty good going on there. Although Andy does have a tough time staying with the run.
Only 1 completion, though, in those first 15 plays. Staley to the outside again. It's taken down at about the 11-yard line. 3rd and short upcoming. Frank Ferreira, the end, making the tackle for the Giants.
Stu Staley was saying last week after he gained 150 yards that he thinks they ought to do that more often, and that more of can go on their shoulders, and the offensive line, the running backs, and take some off of Donovan McNabb. He said then he won't have to play so hard he throws up during those games. That's his goal is to play hard enough and run well enough that McNabb doesn't throw up during the game.
Where was it that Donovan threw up in, was it Jacksonville?
Yeah,
at the end of the game.
It was in Jacksonville, yeah. I mean, that was just, he plays so hard, and he has, what's that thing back there? I think Andy Reid said he has a uvula that is a little shaky, and he tends to throw up a little quicker than most.
2 nice spots here for the Eagles on this drive, and that's a first down. Ty goes to the runner there with the nose of the ball, touches the stick, first down.
I like what the Eagles are doing now. As you said, they were able to to run the ball, to get some things going. They only completed 1 pass, but now that they have the running game going, it's going to be easier to get to the passing.
And they love to pass in the red zone. This is where Andy Reid loves to pass.
Well, in the empty backfield, it's either going to be a McNabb run or a pass.
The pass looked like it might have been tipped and then almost intercepted, intended for Thrash, and Will Allen almost came up with the ball at the 2-yard line.
Andy Reid in this situation loves to throw on first down. He said of all the situations you have in football, inside the red zone, which is inside the 20, on first down is the best throwing down that you have. Of course, he had to throw, and he called the play, and it went right off Thrash's hands. I wouldn't be surprised if he came back with a run here.
And he does with Staley. Staley only gets a yard and a half to the 8-yard line with under 3 minutes to play in the period. It'll be 3rd down and 8 in the red zone. In his career, the ratio is close to 15-1, and that's the 2nd highest since he came into the league, second to Jeff Garcia.
And you know who's going to be high in that from now on is Michael Vick.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a guy that is fun to watch and can do so many of those things. I mean, you just get the ball in his hands, and somehow it's going to get in the end zone. Donovan McNabb's a lot like that.
He'll be high in a lot of categories. Fake give to the fullback. Then McNabb is chased by Strahan, eludes him, throws, and it's incomplete. Intended for Todd Pinkston, who was covered at the goal line.
Yeah, and that was the 2nd time that they ran that play on 3rd down. The first series they had the ball, it's a bootleg where he fakes the run to the left, and he's going to bootleg out. You see, he fakes a run in there to do Staley, then he bootlegs out here. Now what he's looking for is a lane to throw back across the field, because he has 2 deep routes back across the field. They were both covered.
Now a 27-yard attempt for David Akers, who missed earlier from 50, and that had been his first miss of the season. This one is good. The Eagles have run 21 plays to only 6 for the Giants and lead 3-0.
Magnificent view.
It is, isn't it?
On November 22nd, everything you know about Bond will be turned upside down.
Let's get down to business.
Voila!
No, you're cleverer than you look.
Still better than looking cleverer than you are.
Pierce Brosnan.
So I left you in an explosive situation.
Don't blow it all at once.
Die Another Day. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, November 22nd at theaters everywhere.
Please enter password. Please scan retina. Please submit blood sample. Please submit hair sample.
Can your security software protect your entire enterprise without making you jump through hoops?
Ready for that 10 o'clock date?
Coming.
Ours can. Comprehensive security solutions from Computer Associates.
Yeah. I'm on a 10 o'clock flight.
Business trip, huh? Remember, you can achieve success anywhere. For example, I've caught touchdown passes in all these cities.
Jerry, but I've thrown touchdown passes in all of these cities.
I was here first, Steve.
So?
You backup quarterback?
Butterfingers?
You pretty boy.
Slowpoke?
Wherever business takes you, Courtyard has what you need to be successful.
Sports analyst.
Step away from the vehicle.
Now make 3 stays and earn 2 free nights. Call 1-888-MARRIOTT. Courtyard, your Marriott awaits.
Oh.
It's a brand new Home Alone movie.
It's the burglar!
Bigger house, badder baddies.
Yes!
Bigger and better laughs. Home Alone 4, ABC Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
Tuesday, you ready for 2 funny women in one night? Then you're ready for all new episodes of Life with Bonnie and Less Than Perfect. Tuesday, otherwise known as Mañana, right here on ABC. Michael Strahan has been on the field a lot. As we say, the Eagles have run 21 plays, so they've dominated the first period, but it's only 3-0 on the scoreboard. And now the Eagles with Akers descended down to the Giants, fielded at the 9-yard line by Tim Carter, and the Auburn speedster brings it back up to the 32-yard line. Philadelphia, the final Monday night game ever at the Vet. The Liberty Bell, of course, the primary feature. We picked up our replicas of those today, John. A little ceremony, a little pep rally downtown.
Yep, including the crack in the Liberty Bell. There's a lot of tradition here. You know, you think of Philadelphia, and you just drive down the streets and you're in the city, and it just seems there's so much history and tradition that you know, you felt that someplace in another life maybe you were here.
Good town. I've always loved coming here. Ike Hilliard, the intended receiver. Collins started to stumble on the way back. You know, Jim Fossa was telling Melissa at the outset tonight that he wanted to establish the run game. Well, here we are almost at the end of the first period. They've run the ball 3 times for 6 yards.
Well, they haven't established anything. Collins hasn't completed a pass yet, has he?
0 for 4.
Well, you said he stumbled on that one. He's been stumbling this whole first quarter. This Giant offense has been stumbling this whole first quarter.
2nd and 10. They give it to Dane, and he looks like he started to stumble as well. This is, I think they call this next turf. It's a different turf. They put it in a couple of years ago. Of course, since this stadium is going to be imploded in a couple of years, they don't spend a lot of money on it. And it looks like it's snowing or sleeting or whatever it is, but it's just ugly. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's ugly, but it's a lot better than it used to be. I mean, it used to be ugly, and it used to be hard, and it used to be the worst field in all of football, but this is much softer and a lot better field.
Ain't no Persian rug. 3rd and 7, and that is caught, and that's a first down. So their first completion moves the chains as Amani Toomer makes the catch, and the Giants have a first down.
Yeah, and I think Amani Toomer on that play slipped. He's the outside guy up here, the flanker, and he's going to come down and run a slant right there. And just as he caught the ball, it looked like his feet just slid out. I know the Giants came here and had a walkthrough or a practice yesterday, and the big reason was to decide what footwear to wear.
From the 43, Collins guns it over the middle and hits Jeremy Shockey, the tight end, who missed last week's game with a toe injury. Came out of the Dallas game early with that injury, and he's been, of course, a source this week of controversy. Talked about the Eagles secondary not being very good, and so he's greeted by some boos. And also Bill Carollo now gets together with the back judge with a flag down.
And the thing that the Giants did on that play is they had a blitz coming from their right, and they picked it up. It's going to go against the Giants, but that's going to be a big test. Is if you can keep guys in, if you can pick up their blitz, then the Eagles won't blitz as much.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting. On number 80, offense, after the first down, will be 1st and 10, 15 yards from the spot of the dead ball.
Oh, how much does the crowd love that?
Yeah, and Jim Fossil knows, and Jeremy Shockey's going to learn. I mean, you know, you have to play with emotion, and you have to play, but you make a play, just go back to the huddle. You know, that's all you have to do, and eventually you learn that. Now, Now, as a rookie and the way Jeremy Shockey is, players are going to talk to him too. And they're going to start the taunt. But you can't finish the taunt. Now, that didn't look like a real bad taunt.
No. But we've seen more verbal taunts this year than ever before. This call is Barber takes off, chased by Taylor, and then forced out of bounds by Blaine Bishop. So there's the running game getting established with Tiki Barber springing loose to 31.
You know, and that's the thing that the Giants practiced on this week, is they thought, Jim Fossil thought that you could start the run to the right and there would be a cutback lane back here on this left side. In fact, we have that, 7 days, whatever, or 7 days a week.
To Monday, 7 days
to Monday, yeah. And during that, they practiced on this play, and Jim Fossil told Tiki Barber, I think when we start to the right, I think there will be a cutback there.
Giants' longest rush of the year, 31 yards. End of the period. Eagles on top by 3, and Monday Night Football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Gina? You know, when I was first hired, we didn't have all these fancy integrated systems. Our sales program wasn't even linked with accounting. Warehouse platform in Chicago wasn't linked to anything, not even shipping. Back then, orders took days. Now they just take hours.
Wow, how long have you been working here?
A couple of months now.
Oh.
With Microsoft Server software, you can quickly connect all aspects of your business. That's software for the agile business. From Microsoft.